Hey guys, I just want you to watch this video first because I want to explain that there's a bit of a difference between the package I'm using and the package you guys are used to in the classroom. Please remember, in the classroom we are using 2016 and I've made my videos on 2013 because unfortunately I don't have 2016 on my laptop. So I've made these videos on 2013's package. Now the only difference is in the tabs. As you can see, next to design I've got page layout and not layout, and you will notice that even in your textbooks that it says layout and not page layout. Okay, so when I make my videos and I refer to page layout, I'm actually referring to the layout tab, so don't get confused. That is unfortunately the change that they've made when they made the 2016 package. It went from page layout just to normal layout. Alright, so but it's still the same tab at the end of the day. As you can see, if I click on the page layout tab, it's where I change the margins, orientation, size, columns, etc. Okay, so don't get confused about that. It's just the layout tab, the normal layout tab. Okay. And then just to quickly take you through the Word program of what we already should know by now. First of all, under our File tab, if we want to save a document, remember you will go to Save As. And then I said to you guys the best thing to do is to browse. Again, as you can see, my browse option is on the right hand side of my screen and not on the left hand side pane. So that's the difference, but still at the end of the day you click on browse, and when you click on browse it will take you to the Windows Explorer to say where do you want to save your file. And remember I said we always save in our documents, so you select documents and then you go and you look for your folder. Okay, so that is then saving. And remember also you go to file if you want to print, you click on print, you double check that everything is fine on your document. Always check the pages here at the bottom, check that you have 1 of 1 pages or 1 or 2 pages or whatever the case might be. If you have over 1,000 pages, it means you've made a mistake somewhere. Alright, and please seek assistance if this is the case. And remember, if you do not click on the print button, then nothing will print. So it's very important to remember to actually click on print. This is the print preview option, but to make the actual printout, you need to click on print. Alright. And then under the home tab, by now you should know, here is your clipboard when you want to cut and paste information and copy information. You have the font box where you change your font, your size. When you want to bold, italic, underline. Remember, when you have to underline, you always use the single line option unless you get another instruction. Here's your subscript and superscript options. To highlight text, if you need to highlight or shade text, you can use this option over here. You can also use this option, the shading option. This is your alignment buttons and your line spacing options. Remember what I showed you in class with line spacing. If you have to type information, always change your line spacing to before and after 0 point and change the line spacing to single. Very, very important. You don't have to change anything else. This section is the important part where you want to make your changes. Alright. And then of course in the same window, this is also where you set your tabs. If you can remember that I showed you how to work with tabs. You will click on tabs. You will type in your tab stop positions in this section over here. And then you will decide whether it's going to be a left, center, right or decimal tab. And if you want to use leader dots or leader lines, whatever the case might be, you will change it over here. And very important, if you want to clear your tabs, go to the same window and clear the tabs that you do not want anymore, or clear all of them if you don't want to use them. Right. And don't forget to click on OK when you are done setting the tab stops in your document. And of course, if you want to tab in the document, you use the tab key on your keyboard, right? And then as well in your paragraph grouping, I've showed you your indentation, decreasing indents and increasing indents. You can sort your information if you need to. Here is the to show the paragraph indicators. Remember, if you don't like the paragraph indicators to show in your document, switch it off, just to show you again what it looks like. This is showing how many times I've entered in the document. But if you do not like the paragraph indicator, just make sure it's switched off. And then of course here's your buttons to insert bullets, insert numbering, and this is the multi-level numbering, the one we're not working with at the moment. Remember what I said to you, first type the information and then afterwards apply your bullets and numbering. Alright. And then under the insert tab is where you're going to insert your header, your footers and page numbers. Remember what I said with header and footers. When you insert a header, always use the very first one, and don't forget to delete the type here box. Just backspace it like that. Alright, so very easy. And then remember to insert your information as indicated in your instructions, whether it's a test or exam, and use your tab key to navigate in the header. The same apply in the footer. Just use your tab key to navigate in the footer or the header. Right. And then of course as well under insert is when you want to insert page numbering. If you click on page numbering, you've got options that says top of the page, bottom of the page. You don't really use page margin and current position, you will just use these two options. And then when you insert a page number, you can also change the number that the page numbering is starting with. For example, if they say the page numbering will start with page 2 instead of page 1, you go back to page number and you can say format page numbers, and then you can say start at, this option over here. When you click on start at, you can change it, for example, to start with page number 2. And when you click on OK, you'll see now the page will start with page number 2. And when you close the header and the footer and you make a page break, you will see it still gives the same number. If this happens, if it still gives the same number, then just edit the page numbers again. Remember how to edit a header or a footer. Double click in the section of the header with your mouse, like that, and then you are in the editing mode of the header and the footer. Go back to page numbers and just say that your second page must continue from the previous section. And then you will notice page 2 is then number 3 and the first page is number 2. So from there on it will continue from the previous section, so that your page numbers is not the same on each and every page. Alright. And then also under insert, this is the option where you find your tables, but I will make a quick video on tables separately for you guys so that you see again how table works. And then under the design tab, this is where I showed you how to insert page borders if you need to work with page borders. Just to quickly show you again what page borders look like. You can choose your different styles, or you can choose art, and then when you click on OK, it will apply a border in the document. Also remember, you can apply the border either to the whole document or only the first page, right? All depending on what is your instruction. And then of course this tab over here, remember in 2016 it's the layout tab. On my screen it shows page layout, but it's the same thing. This is where you can change your margins. Remember, when you want to change margins, you go to custom margins. And please remember, if they say the margins must be 2.54 centimeter left and right, you do not have to go and change the margins because your document is already in 2.54 centimeters. please don't get confused to change the margins of the document if it's already set up correct. Okay. Usually we prefer to use 2.54 centimeter margins, but the moment when they talk about 1.27 centimeters or maybe 3.81 centimeters, that's when you go and change it. But when we're talking about 2.54 centimeters left and right, you don't have to make any change. Just keep that in mind. And then of course here you also change your orientation, whether it must be portrait or landscape. You can also change the size of your page if need be. Usually we work in A4 because our printers are set up in A4, but you can change it to a different size. One day maybe if you're working. And then in my other videos, I've made videos on the columns, so you will see how the columns work. In class, I've showed you guys where you can make page breaks, but remember the one that I want you to always use is the one under section breaks that says next page. Always remember, please use this option when you want to make a page break. Alright. And then there's line numbers. I will show you, I'll make a quick video on line numbers just to show you how line numbers work. And then hyphenation. Remember what I said about the hyphenation? Use automatic hyphenation when they say you must use soft hyphenation. Or if they just say hyphenate the document, you just come here and you use the automatic hyphenation option. And then we have our indenting options. Remember what I said, if you want to indent a paragraph, for example, I'm going to quickly insert text and indent a paragraph for you so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the text that I've quickly inserted. And if you want to indent these paragraphs, remember to highlight all of the text. Control A highlights all the text, and then by indentation, if they say indented left and right, let's say maybe with 2 centimeters, just put in 2 centimeters on both sides, and as you can see, now your paragraph has been indented with 2 centimeters. Remember guys, this is not margins, this is only indentation. Okay. Right, and then the last thing I can quickly show you as well here is under the review. If you want to check your spelling and grammar, remember only use spelling and grammar when you notice you've made some typing errors. Do not change names of places because that is supposed to stay like that. Only change your spelling and grammar when you've actually made typing errors. When you click on spelling and grammar, it will check if there's any problems in your document. There was no faults in my document, so it says there the spelling and grammar check is complete and you're good to go. Obviously, you will notice when there is a spelling error in your document, the word will be underlined in red. Right? And then under the View tab, always check that your view is in print layout. And always check that your ruler is switched on, because if your ruler is not switched on, it's very difficult to notice what you are busy doing in your document. Okay, and remember, in your ruler we've got these little buttons here that's called your indents, your hanging indents. Double check that your indents are usually on the margin. So if I enter after the information and I want to go back to normal, typing my document with the normal margins, just put your indentions back to 0 so that there's no indent. And then you will notice when I continue typing, I'm back to the margin. Okay, we only indented the paragraph. I only indented this paragraph to show you how indentation works. Okay, the find and replace, I've made a video on the find and replace so that you can see how find and replace works. I will make still a few extra videos just to show you again how to do a few things. One of the videos that I'm also going to make for you guys is copying and pasting from different documents. I'll also show you how that works. Right, so I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for watching.